We are back for another race, this time in Canada. Last time out we were in Baku. Kevin Magnussen finished P8, almost getting Valtteri Bottas, but we're losing pretty much by the smallest of margins. It was another photo finish, but we are still ahead of Alfa Romeo by 9 points in the Constructors' Championship. P4 looks like the goal, and it's going to be a tight battle all the way to the wire with Alfa Romeo and Alpine. I do believe we are getting an upgrade on our car. Either... I think it's one upgrade we're getting, and it's currently in development. So if I look at current projects, it is the underfloor, which will come in 3 days, Grand Prix in 4 days, so we'll be able to put that on one of the cars. Which car we're going to put it on, we haven't decided yet, but it's probably going to be Kevin Magnussen's, just so we can maximize the amount of points we do get. Now I believe we can start a new project, which we can, and we are going to design something new. So we have got the chassis, we've designed a new chassis, we've designed a new front wing, we're searching for the rear wing for next season. We haven't touched on the side pods, and I think that's the only thing we haven't touched on yet. So I think the side pods we will play around with. Oh, we've got to wait 14 more days before we get the hours and the next ATR period. So we're going to have to wait 14 more days before we start doing some more upgrades, because we want a decent upgrade. Let's be honest, we don't want to waste money. I mean, we could. It'll be a very small upgrade, but I don't think there'll be much point in that. So we'll wait another 14 more days before we do some upgrades, and hopefully we can get that one new upgrade for... I think it's the underfloor, was it, coming in, and we'll put that on one of the cars. Oh, here's something interesting. For the Canadian Grand Prix, it's going to be another wet race. We know what happened last time in the wet. It went from dry to wet to dry, and we got some very, very good points. So another wet race, which is going to make this race a lot more interesting than what Baku was. Baku was a very... boring race. We're kind of expecting a safety car, we were expecting something, but nothing happened. We do have the new manufactured underfloor that we can put on one of the cars, and we're going to put it on Kevin Magnussen's car. I feel like we have to. It's a big upgrade, this one. If you have a look, it does improve quite a lot on the side. And you can't see, but on high speed, it's from 14th to 5th on the grid. So we're going to put that on Kevin Magnussen's car, and we're going to see if he can fight for potentially a podium if the rain comes and we get the strategy right. So let's get into qualifying and make sure he gets a good position in that top 10. And then we'll send out K-Mag right at the back of this crew right now, so they can both get their laps in. So Mick Schumacher underway first. Let's see what sort of time he can put in. He's actually going to come across the line, get a bit of a tow from his teammate from way out ahead. Can Mick Schumacher move all the way up? Kevin Magnussen didn't actually make the line. We sent him out too late. So we've made a big error with K-Mag there. I think he should be okay. Mick Schumacher improves by the tiniest of margins, but I don't think it is going to be enough as other cars cross the line. Latifi crosses the line, stays in P20. Mick Schumacher, who are we looking for? We're looking at Sebastian Vettel. He needs to gain just over a tenth to knock Mick Schumacher out. He does. He knocks Mick Schumacher out again in Q1. And down to P17 goes Mick Schumacher as Sonoda, I think, improves, who was down there. So another Q1 exit for Schumacher. We need to get these upgrades in. We do have that big upgrade that came in for K-Mag, which puts him comfortably through. We'll get that on Mick Schumacher's car for next time. But P17, we're starting to see that if we don't keep these developments going, we are going to drop behind the rest of the grid. So it's very important. Alright, so we have one set of new soft tyres, so we basically just said we'll keep Kevin Magnussen in the pits and we'll send him out right at the very end of the session. So that's exactly what we've done. With third in line, Leclerc has started his flying lap along with Alonso and along with Kevin Magnussen. Where can he put the car? Can he put it, anywhere above P10, I think, is a good result, because our car doesn't seem to be doing that great around here. So what can Kevin Magnussen do? He puts it up to P7. Perez and Russell likely to improve. Bottas does go ahead, so it is going to be a P10 start. We couldn't get above the AlphaTauri or the Alfa Romeos or the Alpines for that matter. Well, the three that made it into Q3. But P10 for Kevin Magnussen, P17 for Mick Schumacher. if we can get some points here, if we do the pit stops right. We know the AI is a bit dodgy on pit stops. Maybe they go to inters, to wets, to inters. But it looks like we're just going to go straight to the wets and make that decision, especially as it looks as though that was going to be the best way on the forecast. So a good start from Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher. And we could be in for a double points scoring position here. So let's look at Mick Schumacher. Let's see if he can get a decent start in this Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen already moving up a place on Gasly. Oh, there's been a crash. We've all stopped. What's happened? Kevin Magnussen, what's happened? He's spun. He's paused. Everybody's had to pause because he's spun. And he's got a penalty. Ah, shit. He ruined his tyres. They've got a flat spot. He's got a penalty. And he's got front wing damage. Kevin Magnussen. Kevin. I mean, can we see the incident at least? We didn't get to see it. We were riding on board. There we go. What has K-Mag done? So he's gone around. He's made contact with the AlphaTauri. And they've pretty much stopped. Oh, he swerved into him again. That's the AlphaTauri fault, swerving into him. There's a bit of debris on the track. I'm not sure if the safety car came out. I'm kind of hoping it did. No, there's no safety car. Did Gasly not get a penalty? No, that was poor from him. This way he just turned into us. Oh well. Schumacher wasn't able to capitalise. He doesn't have. I don't think he has DRS this lap, does he? He's going to get it next time down that straight, but already out of DRS. So already wasted a bit of that. But can he get a move done? He goes down the inside for the next corner as well. Mick Schumacher up into P12. So Mick Schumacher doing what he needs to do for the team. And Kevin Magnussen pretty much out of the Grand Prix. And he's going to be racing the Williams unless we get the strategy spot on for when it rains. But look at Mick Schumacher. He's on a charge right now. P17. He's already up to P12. And he's all over the rear of Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to go for a move. He's going to go around the outside. Mick Schumacher. Hello. Welcome to the show. He's driving like his dad. This is beautiful stuff. Up into P11 for Mick. And he could be on for a point scoring position if he keeps this up. Come on, Mick. Keep it going, mate. Keep it going. DRS from ahead. Mick Schumacher will. He's going to make this move look very, very easy indeed. With full... Oh, no, he's not. He's not even going to get close enough. DRS, fuel on full attack mode. Still not getting close to the Alpine. He's got to open again for this straight. Now he's going to get the move done. Ocon must have used a lot of DRS to hold him up behind. But Mick Schumacher says, see you later. Up into P10 he goes, and he's into the points, and he's going to be pushing on Lando Norris up ahead. This is a fantastic drive from Mick so far. Keep it up. No one's pit yet. No one's pit. Is Alonso going to pit? Alonso does pit. He does pit indeed. It is raining pretty heavy. We're going to pit Mick Schumacher. We're going to pit him right now. I don't think he can stay out another lap. So we're going to pit him onto the wet tyres. Bit risky. But if we pit him onto the wets, it's supposed to rain a lot. I think this is the way to go. So we're going to pit him onto the wet tyres right now. We're going to also do the same thing for Kevin Magnussen, who isn't too far behind. And I think we will be able to close in on the top 7 who are not pitting. Be interested to see what Alonso's going to do. Is he going on to the intermediates? If he goes on to the intermediates, we could be in another Miami situation. No, he's going on to the full wets. Okay, so the AI have smartened up with their decisions. Schumacher now into the pits, also going on to the full wets. And good thing we pitted him now because we definitely need to... Kevin Magnussen needs to get into the pits as well. Everybody is coming into the pits. So the front 7, they're going to be very, very slow for the next few corners. If we have a look at Carlos Sainz, look how damp it is. Look how slow he is. He's got absolutely no grip out there. So this has worked very, very well for Mick Schumacher. We're going to tell him, get on your bike, mate. You could maybe get a couple of the drivers up ahead if you keep this up. Kevin Magnussen, we're going to do the same thing for him when he gets on out of the pits. So K-Mag coming out of the pits right now. Let's tell him to push. He gets past Latifi, who decided not to come in for some reason. Interesting move from the Williams garage. But Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher, they're on the right strategy. Ocon and Norris up ahead. They've stayed out. So Mick Schumacher is going to get another easy couple of moves. Now the top 6, top 7 are coming in. But we're getting held up by these drivers right here. Mick Schumacher's going to get past them pretty comfortably. Or at least I was hoping. But they are going to go into the pits. So now Schumacher goes past. And that has actually halted up our progress. But we have closed the gap a little bit to Bottas. If we didn't get held up by those two that were coming into the pits, we could have been right on the back of them. But instead, we're a little bit far behind. Magnussen up in a P15. Has been a yellow flag, but that was quickly removed. So, with the rain like this, it'll be interesting to see who is on the intermediates. Is anybody on the... Yes, so Sainz is on the intermediates. Perez on the intermediates. We're on the wets. It's a mixture right now. And right now, I think the intermediates are the faster tyre. The tyres are not going to hold up. And that's going to be perfect for Mick Schumacher, as he might be able to gain a few positions, especially if he holds on to these tyres. We should probably tell him to relax a bit, preserve these tyres, because he's going to need them until the end of the Grand Prix. Magnussen stuck in a little bit of a train, which is very frustrating in wet conditions. But now the rain's getting heavier and heavier. The intermediate runners are going to start to struggle a little bit. But now it's going down. You don't know what's going to happen in this race. It keeps going down, it keeps going up, keeps going down, keeps going up. But with a bit of a rainstorm, I think it could be the wet tyres, the ones that you want to be on. There you go. Now you definitely want to be on the wet tyres. So we've made a good decision. Albon into the pits. I'm sure he's going onto the wets from the inters. Yes, he is. And you might see Verstappen, Leclerc struggle a little bit more. Sainz and Perez as well, who gained quite a bit of advantage by being on those intermediates. But let's ride on board with Lewis Hamilton and see how much he closes up on Sergio Perez up ahead. We could see them come into the pits. We have seen Sainz come into the pits. Is Perez going to come into the pits as well in that Red Bull? No, he decides to stay out. So Perez taking a gamble might be the way to go, considering the rainfall is coming down. But you just don't know. It is all about risk and reward in these wet races. Verstappen is coming out the pits. I think Schumacher might actually jump him here. So it's going to be tight, but Schumacher does get ahead of Verstappen. So Schumacher into P8. Not sure for how long. I think Verstappen might be able to get back past him, and will probably do that very quickly. But this is an interesting point in the race. Oh boy. The rain is coming. The rain is coming. I don't want to pit. I do not want to pit. Cars might pit. We're not going to. We're going to stay out there because the rain is coming, and the rain has come. So you can see 3.62. We are back up there in the range. We're just over halfway done in this race. This race is absolutely crazy. Mick Schumacher holding on to P8 from Charles Leclerc. Kevin Magnussen in P12, especially if this weather forecast is right. If the rain is going to go down, I think it's very important that we do switch him right now. I think it could be the perfect time. So we're going to pit Mick Schumacher. We're going to be the first ones in onto the intermediates. It's a bold decision. If it works out well, it could do us wonders in this Grand Prix. And we're also going to hit Kevin Magnussen as well. We're looking for those points. Can we make a master stroke of a strategy? They're going to come in this lap. The rainfall is going down. Mick Schumacher comes out. He comes out in P10. He's actually done a fantastic job. Still in P10 after a pit stop. Lando Norris behind on the wet tyres. We're going to tell him to push a little bit. Just try and stay ahead of that McLaren driver. I think we've just done a master stroke strategy here. We're going to tell Kevin Magnussen to push as well. If we've done this master stroke strategy, we're going to gain quite a bit. We are pulling away from the McLaren, so we know we've got it right. We're pulling in on Daniel Ricciardo up ahead. But hold on a second. It's got even more wet. I think we've made a mistake now. We've made a mistake. The track has changed to wet. It's 4.2. Where has this come from? We're on the wrong tyre now. We're on the wrong... Oh my god, it's getting very wet. Where has this come from? We've had a nightmare. We've had an absolute nightmare. We've thrown away this race. It's just got really wet out of nowhere. Mick Schumacher's dropping down to P13. Magnussen down to P17. Now it starts to go down. And now it's going to turn into the intermediate times. But I think it's too late. We've got 21 laps to go. And we've just screwed up our race by pitting him too early. Mick Schumacher down to P15. Yes. Now the track is going to be more in his favour. But we've already screwed it over. We've lost so many positions because of it. And it's getting more wet. It's getting more wet. Alonso's in P3 as well, and Alpine's scoring great points. Now the track's coming to the intermediate, so 2.8. 2.6 millimeters. So now it might come back in our favor, but I think it's way too little, way too late, as we've been lapped by the top 6. But very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I've bottled it. I've bottled it today, lads. I've absolutely bottled it. We could be coming into the dries territory at the end of this Grand Prix.
We need to save some fuel because we're not going to finish.
No, we'll be alright. We'll be alright. We've got 10 more laps to go. I don't think it's going to get to the dries. It is definitely intermediate weather, but there's not too much difference between the inters and the wets. Is there any late drama with some dry weather? There is a yellow flag, but nothing doing.
Is it improving at all? It looks like to us it's not raining.
You know what? We're going to come in with Mick Schumacher and put on the soft tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix. Why not? You know, we've thrown away the race already. Why not take a gamble onto the dries at the end of this Grand Prix and see what we could do? We're going to do the exact same thing with Kevin Magnussen, who's not too far behind. And we'll see what happens. Does anybody else come into the pits? Nope, it's just us two. We get the pit stops done. We're on to the dry tyres now. We've had a crash in the track. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We've got a few laps to go. Bring out the safety car. We've got 3 laps to go. Bring it out. Go on, bring it out. I don't know if it's going to matter. We're going to go past and unlap ourselves on Charles Leclerc. Nope. I guess we can't. Sergio Perez has crashed. He's coming into the hairpin.
And there we see the crash.
Oh, he avoided the wall and then he said, "Nah, let's go hit it for fun." So, Crashgate conspiracy theories to try and bring out the safety car to help Max Verstappen. Yep, that is definitely there. But and he get P17. I think what we should have done is I should have boxed Kevin Magnussen onto the inters and took the risk of him, kept Mick Schumacher out and played it safe. Played it safe with him, but we didn't. You know, I pitted both cars. I should have probably just pitted Magnussen in hindsight, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Fernando Alonso getting P4, Bottas in P5, and that's going to hurt our chances in the constructors. As you can see, we've actually dropped down to P5 now, a point behind Alfa Romeo, only 8 points ahead of Alpine. So big mistakes by me has cost us a position in the constructors, and it's really heating up that battle in the midfield. AlphaTauri still a little bit away. Development point increase for Kevin Magnussen. I still need to put on the one for Mick Schumacher as well, but at least Mick Schumacher will have the upgraded car for next week's race. I don't know where we are. We are in Silverstone, so our my home Grand Prix is a team principal, not for the team. We're an American team, so we've got to wait a while for that yet. Well, we had the Miami one, but let's be honest, Kota is the real home Grand Prix for Haas. If you are enjoying this series, go ahead, leave a like. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.